If you're a fan of bold and expressive art, come check out my Patreon. For just $1, you'll get exclusive access to artwork that I don't share anywhere else. Click the link in the video description to dive into my daring creations and unique artistic style. At least 32 Palestinians are dead, and over 100 more injured, following an incident Saturday morning in southern Gaza. Witnesses and hospital officials report that Israeli Defense Forces opened fire on crowds of Palestinians attempting to reach two aid distribution hubs operated by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF. The scene, described by those present as a massacre, unfolded as large groups, predominantly young men, approached the centers seeking food. The majority of fatalities occurred near a GHF distribution center east of Khan Yunis, in the Taina area, with a further 9 deaths reported near a facility northwest of Rafah. The Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis received 25 bodies and numerous wounded individuals, many reported to be in critical condition. Medical personnel at Nasser hospital, overwhelmed by the sheer number of casualties, described the situation as unprecedented and warned the death toll may rise further, citing a critical shortage of medical supplies and personnel. Dr. Atef Al-Hout, director of Nasser Hospital, underscored the dire situation, highlighting the hospital's inability to provide adequate treatment. The GHF, established as a replacement for the traditional UN-led aid distribution system, issued a statement clarifying that the shootings occurred far from their facilities and hours before their scheduled opening, emphasizing their repeated warnings to aid seekers against traveling to their sites overnight or in the early morning. They also denied any incidents at or near their sites. The Israeli military maintains that warning shots were fired near Rafah after a group of individuals approached troops and ignored calls to maintain distance, stating an investigation is underway into reports of casualties. However, the military notes the incident occurred during the distribution center's closure. Eyewitness accounts paint a harrowing picture. Mahmoud Mokimar, speaking to Associated Press reporters, described the chaos as the crowds advanced, with troops initially firing warning shots before opening direct fire, leaving several motionless bodies and numerous wounded people in his wake. He uses the word massacre to characterize the event. Another witness, Akram Aker, claims troops used machine guns mounted on tanks and drones, describing the shooting as a direct and encircling attack. Sana Al-Jabari, a 55-year-old woman, corroborates these accounts, detailing the scene as she fled the area, hearing pleas for food met only with gunfire. Multiple witnesses interviewed by AFP independently corroborated claims of indiscriminate fire from Israeli troops, describing tanks and jeeps arriving and soldiers opening fire. Tamer Abu Akar, 24, recounted how he and others sought cover from the gunfire. The backdrop to this tragedy is a severe humanitarian crisis gripping Gaza, with over 2 million Palestinians facing the imminent threat of famine, a situation exacerbated by reports describing aid distribution as lethal chaos. This incident follows a previous tragedy last Wednesday when a stampede near a GHF hub resulted in 19 deaths and 1 stabbing incident. The GHF attributed that incident to Hamas, labeling it a calculated provocation. Doctors at Nasser Hospital, like Dr. Mohammed Saker, head of the nursing department, report that many of Saturday's victims suffered gunshot wounds to the head and chest, further emphasizing the severity of the situation. The hospital's intensive care unit is already overwhelmed. Meanwhile, negotiations between Israeli and Hamas representatives continue regarding an interim truce, which would reportedly include the return of 10 surviving hostages and the bodies of 18 others to Israel in exchange for the release of Palestinian detainees. President Donald Trump, in recent remarks, expressed optimism about the imminent release of 10 hostages from Gaza, though offered no further details. This latest incident casts a long shadow over the ongoing efforts to achieve a lasting peace, underscoring the fragility of the situation and the immense human cost of the conflict in Gaza. The image of injured Palestinian children awaiting treatment in Nasser Hospital serves as a stark visual reminder of the human toll of this ongoing tragedy. The urgent need for medical supplies and aid in Gaza remains paramount, and the accounts of indiscriminate gunfire and the sheer number of casualties raise serious concerns about the ongoing violence and its impact on the civilian population. The search for answers and accountability continues as the world grapples with the devastating aftermath of this event. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths is ongoing.